Hi everyone, Dice Crazy Dude here. If you want to quickly move up from being a dice goblin to a dice dragon, then you're buying dice in bulk. Man, look at this thing. This is like something you get at Costco. So this is Fanroll's pound of premium resin dice. It normally retails for about $45, although I've seen it on sale for as low as $32. They claim you're going to get 80 to 100 dice in here, and you'll also get one complete mystery set. So let's get to the table and let's get rolling. I'm going to pour these bad boys out, and then we'll sort them up. Here we go. Time to make it rain. Woo! Help it out there a little bit. Got a little bit of a log jam with so many dice. Man, that is a full dice tray. Get them all? Yep. Woo! All right, I'm going to sort these, and then we'll start going through them by die type. All done. I ended up getting a total of 25 different D4s. All right, I put all the matching D4s together. You can see we have 3 sets of 3. We got 5 different sets of 2, and then we got a bunch of individuals here at the bottom. So first up, these guys are like a translucent green with gold numbering. Kind of interesting color, but unfortunately on one of them, see here, there's a little bit of a crack there on the side. So, oh well. Next up, we have ones that go from kind of a greenish to a bluish with silver numbering. These guys are actually kind of cool. Kind of remind me of like a tropical theme. And then we've got 3 here that are pink, but they've got little hearts and stuff in there along with the glitter. So they must be out of some sort of like Valentine's love set. Not bad looking. Moving on to the doubles. All right, first up, we got this pair. They're like this nice kind of swirly purple with some sparkles in there and gold numbers. These look nice. They stand out nicely. Then moving on, we've got some blue guys here with gold numbering. Always a classic pairing. Nicely done. A little bit more blue here. These are actually really cool. I really like this look. This nice silver glitter in there with the silver numbers. And then if you can see, there's some actual little star inclusions in there. So these are, so far out of the D4s, these are my favorite. Next up, we got some more purple guys. These guys, though, have silver numbering. You can see they're definitely doing like a marble pattern there. All right, and then we're going to move on to the individuals. We'll start with this pair first. These are actually like the same style, but they've got different colors. So you can see this one's more of a blue guy, and then we got more of a green guy over here. Both have the gold numbering though, and they're kind of like a swirled through translucent. Interesting. And then each of these is pretty unique. This guy, you know, like I really like that like dark coloring with the sparkle in there and the gold numbers. It stands out really nicely. Looks really cool. Like in person, it almost looks almost like a malachite, kind of like made out of resin. Really like the look of that guy. Then we got this guy. This is like a brown and blue swirled together with silver numbering. Definitely cool, giving off like dwarven vibes. Definitely check. I like the look of that guy. Here, this one's, we've got really thin confetti kind of scattered throughout a translucent die with silver numbering. A little hard to see at a distance, but it's an all right die. Here we go. We got a clear one with purple numbering, but this guy looks a little sun-aged. You know, looks like UVs kind of made that resin yellow, which is unfortunate. This one's pretty interesting. It's got like a rainbow pattern to it. I wish I'd gotten more of these, but yeah, gold numbering on there. It's not too bad. I think like a white would stand out a little bit better on that rainbow pattern, but still a cool die. And last but not least, we got this orange guy here with silver numbering. Stands out nicely, looks pretty good. So that's the D4 collection with a total of 25 of those guys. Here we go with the D6s. So I got a total of 13 of these bad boys, so I'll sort them out real quick. All right, I've got them all sorted out here. We can see we got 2 different groupings of 3, and then 2 pairs, and then some individual dice. So first up, we've got these like purple and black swirl ones with gold numbering. Pretty cool looking, although one of them you can see on the inking on the D6 a little messed up there. Oh well. And then we've got this triplet of peach dice, I'd almost call them, with gold numbering. Not too bad looking, but not something I would normally get. Moving on to the pairs, we've got kind of these like translucent green and purple with a lot of gold glitter in there, and then gold numbering. Almost like very like a fairy fae kind of dice. Be good for those. And then these guys, this is another pair. This is that same as like the D4 that I like, the kind of dwarven theme I was calling it, where it's like that blue and brown mix with the gold numbering. Definitely glad I got some of these guys to go with that D4. Moving on to the individuals here. You know, at first I thought this was one of these guys with the triplets, but you can see this one's actually layered with that, you know, it's the same kind of color pattern, but it's separated out and then gold numbering. So that one's pretty cool. I actually like that guy. And then this guy is nice and translucent with purples scattered throughout, gold numbering. A lot of gold and purple dice here. And then last but not least here, we got another translucent swirl. It's black and purple inks throughout there with gold numbering. So definitely a very purpley D6 set. And now the D8s. Amazingly enough, every single one of these is unique. I thought I had a pair here, but if you look really closely, they actually have different glitter patterns on the inside. You can see the one on my left here is like this really chunky kind of look, and then the one on the right is really fine glitter throughout. So I thought this was a pair, but they're actually slightly different dice. And then look at the rest of these guys, all unique. So we got this guy. This is like a really kind of like stardusty kind of collection here. Got some black ink in there and then silver glittering with silver numbers. Definitely a cool one. This guy I really like. I don't know, something about this one, just the swirl of colors in here with that white numbering, it stands out really nicely. And I don't know, I like something about the mix of colors in there. Moving on, we got kind of like almost like I'd call it like a Caribbean sunset kind of looking die. This one's definitely cool. We've got this translucent guy with like a wisp of white in the center with that black numbering, kind of like almost gives off like ghost vibes to me. We've got this guy, it's like this orangish red numbering, a little more orange, and then like kind of this almost looks like that cinnamon whiskey kind of, you know, like that's the vibes I'm getting from this guy. We got this yellow die with nice bright white lettering. Stands out nicely. Not a fan of yellow dice, but this one is nice and easy to read. Got this guy, it's nice and dark, but that gold glittering in there. It's almost like it kind of gives off a red glint in person on that really dark background. Really cool looking, especially with the numbering that stands out really nicely there. This guy is like your standard kind of opaque mix. This one's interesting. The black numbering is a little dark to me. I would have done something a little brighter to make it stand out more. And then we got, you know, this nice purpley swirly guy, kind of think from the unicorn line with gold numbering on there. Not my cup of tea, but it's not a bad die. And then you've got this guy, it's like that rainbow patterning, but these are opaque layers. So this one's pretty interesting. The gold numbering actually works pretty well on this guy, surprisingly. And it's just got that really neat like layered resin look. So pretty cool. I can't believe that I got every single die on the D8s here is unique. That's pretty crazy. I hope that keeps continuing, but probably won't. Moving on to the D10s. This is actually quite a handful. So I got 17 of these bad boys. So this was a pretty funny distribution here. You can see I got 5 of these guys that match. They're just that very classic black with white ink. You know, it's a classic look. They're not bad looking dice, but kind of plain, you know, compared to a lot of the others. I got 3 of these bad boys. These are really interesting. They're like kind of a very light red that go to blue with that gold glitter and then gold numbering. Not bad looking dice. Very interesting. And then I've got 2 of these bad boys that are kind of clear with that red ink kind of scattered throughout and then white numbering. This actually looks a lot like the Asterisk Treasure Pack dice set that I got from Serious Dice. So I like that set. I like the look of these. Like they stand out nicely. They're easy to read. But it's kind of interesting that they look very similar to those. And then the rest of these guys at the bottom, these are all unique. I actually thought this one was going to be paired up with this group because it's the same kind of coloration and the same, you know, gold numbering. But if you look, the colors are a lot more vibrant. So I actually really like this guy compared to the triplets I got there. Moving on, we got this guy. This matches one of the D8s I had gotten. You know, just again with that black numbering on there, it's just a little too dark for, I think, the coloration. It doesn't stand out as well as it could. Moving on, we got this guy with purple scattered throughout and gold numbering. It's all right, not a bad looking die. We got kind of a tealish, you know, very light translucent with gold numbering. A green guy with gold foil in there and then gold numbering. This really light pink one with a little bit of silver glitter and then the white numbering. And then last but not least, this kind of bluish green guy with white numbering. Kind of gives a really interesting kind of earthy, watery vibe to it. So definitely the most of a matching set I've gotten so far. Here's the D percentiles. You know, it's funny, I actually got 17 of these, which matches the same as the D10s. Well, the D percentiles definitely wanted to match the D10s in more than one way in just total numbers. We got another set of 5 here. We got a set of 4. These two guys I thought were the same, but they're actually a little bit different. And then we got a bunch of the individuals here. So the set of 5 here, you can see, they're kind of this really light greenish to purple with the gold numbering. But it's kind of interesting. If you look here, I'm trying to catch this in the light. There's a little bit of this glitter that kind of gives this really nice purpley sheen to it if you catch it just right in the light. For the set of 4, here we go. You know, it's a darker green and purple again, but silver numbering this time. It's got that glitter in there, but it doesn't really have that shine of that set of 5 had. Now, these two guys are actually the same mix of like that brown and blue, kind of giving that dwarven feel, but you got silver inking and gold inking. So they are different styles slightly. And then the individual guys here, this one I thought was just like a clear, you know, like a semi-clear white with silver numbering. Which didn't really do it for me, but if you catch it in the light there, you can see some of that like purple shine. Really cool. It actually looks really nice in person. And then we've got this guy. This is like an interesting mix of green and black scattered throughout there with that gold numbering. One of these guys that matches the D10s, where it's that like translucent red through there with the bright white numbers. This guy is this weird like kind of confetti with the silver. Like, unfortunately, that silver blends in too much, doesn't stand out too much from all the glitter in there. It's a little hard to read that one. You got this guy. This is interesting. This is like a darker mix with that silver glitter in there and then the gold numbering and a little bit of chunks of reflective foil. Looks really cool up here. This side's a little lackluster. So I wish I got more of these than some of the other dice because I'd like to see how that looks. And then we got the kind of like the pumpkin-y, translucent orange guy here with a little bit of that gold numbering. And there is actually a little bit of that purple shine in there, which I wish, man, it's a cool effect. I wish I'd gotten a little bit more of that in there. For the D12s, appropriately enough, I got 12 of those. All right, so I've matched up all the D12s here. You can see this one definitely like showcases how you get different die. Like, look at the size difference between these two. Pretty crazy. So I got 3 of these matching guys. I've got a pair here, and then the rest are individual. So this triplet is actually really cool. It's got that dark, like must be a dark, like a light black or a gray. And then it's got that scattered throughout like that silver glitter. But if you look, there's these gold crescent moons in there. And it just stands out really nicely with that silver numbering. I'm really digging the look of these. This is actually kind of close to that one D percentile that I really liked from the last group. Moving on, we got a pair of yellow guys here with white numbering. It's almost, you know, the weight scattered through this kind of really reminds me like almost like an egg drop kind of look to it. And then moving on to the individuals, this guy is pretty cool. It's like yellow and blacks, really like scattered essence through there with that gold glitter and then the white numbering. It's almost like a bee die, but a little more translucent. Nice and visible though. This guy matches those other ones I was saying, kind of matches the Asterisk treasure pack from Serious Dice with that red and the white. This guy's a pretty cool, like tealish blue with silver numbering, kind of gives watery ocean vibes. You've got this guy, like, this is kind of an odd mix of, it's like a greenish yellow to purple with that gold numbering and then that glitter throughout. This one's pretty cool. I actually like the look of this, especially when you catch it, like, look how that changes. It's got the yellow, clear, and then red. It's like a layered resin, but when you look through it, it actually gives some really nice effects. And then that white numbering stands out really nicely. Like, it's easy to see and it looks cool in person. Got this guy, it's got a little bit of that like tealish blue scattered throughout with that gold numbering. Not a bad die, but nothing stand out. And then last but not least, you got this like very translucent, you know, almost clear guy with a little bit of blue in there and white numbering. It does stand out like more than I thought it would, but I wish there was a little bit more blue coloration in there. Would have been a little bit nicer. Moving on to the dice everybody cares the most about, the D20. This is the one I actually got the least number of, surprisingly. So I only got 8 of these bad boys. So funny enough, half of the dice are the same coloration. So you can see it's this layered resin where it goes blue, kind of like a pinkish purple to black with that gold numbering. I think it's just funny that I got 4 of those, half of the D20s. Then the rest of them obviously are unique here. This one's really cool. I really like the look of this. It's got like this purple blue throughout it, but it's got that really like catch it just right in the light, and it's got that bluish purple shimmer to it. Looks really nice, and the black numbering stands out actually nicely against that. This guy is kind of an interesting mix. It's almost this orangey brown into purple with like a purple glitter in there, and then white numbering. So it's easy to see. A little bit strange for me on the color combo, but still easy to use. This guy's a really dark blue with that glitter in the background and the gold numbering. Gives off like a really good kind of spacey vibe, but it's smaller. Like, unfortunately, I wish this was like slightly bigger size like some of the other D20s. And then this guy at the very end, this is a really interesting color mix. I don't know, something about this, like, I'm trying to catch it here in the light for you. Like, I just like the look of this guy with that white numbering. It stands out really nicely, and you get some really cool colors in there, especially in the light. Look at that. So yeah, some interesting D20s. So out of all the random dice, I tried to pair them up to see if I had made any complete sets, and unfortunately I didn't. I thought that was a little surprising. You know, this is as close as I got at these, like, the brown and blue swirls, but even these have gold and silver numbering, so they're not quite completely matching here. And then that very clear with the red scattered throughout and the white numbering. You know, I only got several dice here. Like, I really thought I was going to get a complete 7-die set out of the randoms here, but that's not the case. All right, let's dive into the mystery complete set that they gave us. Here we go. Ooh, look at these guys. That is interesting. Wow. Okay, wow, it's like a gold glitter in a clear resin. Oh, there's an inclusion in there. Oh my gosh, it's a starfish. Okay, these are like beach dice. Here we go, the D6. You can see that silver numbering on there. Very cool. Wow. There we go. You can see the starfish really nicely there on that kind of like goldish, like golden brown sand. Definitely cool. Wow. Huh. Okay, so they got it on the 1 and the 8 here, like high number, low number, high-ish number, and then yeah, the high number here. So little variation on which edge they're putting that on depending on the die type, but definitely a cool die set. Like, for getting a mystery set and having an inclusion set, that's really cool. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Let's give them a roll, a proper roll. I pulled out my favorites from all the different dice. If anybody knows the set names, please comment, because I would definitely be looking for these guys. So starting with the D4s, I really like these like translucent blue ones with those silver stars in there and the silver numbering. Just a really cool looking set. I'm a sucker for blue dice. Then moving on, we got some more D4s. This like malachite looking one, I'm going to call it, like, I hope that shows up in person. It really does kind of look like a resin version of malachite. And then like I was calling it, like that dwarven style with the brown and blues. I just really like the look of this guy too. Moving on, D6s. It's that same kind of brown and blue mix, but with gold numbering. So I can't say, you know, silver or gold, which one I like more. Like, they both look good to me. I'm happy with both of them. D8. All right, I got this guy just that really interesting color mix in there. You know, it's a translucent resin with that kind of opaque color swirls throughout, and the white numbering stands out nicely, just looks really good. D10. All right, this guy, this really vibrant blue and red mixture with that gold numbering and then the gold flake in there. Something about this guy, you know, that blue and red combo just works. The D10s, these are more of those kind of dwarvish guys, I'm calling them. Again, I've got a silver, I've got a gold version, so I just like the mix there. I don't know, it's something about that color combo is working for me. D12s. I got the 3 bad boys here that are really cool with those crescent moons that are gold in there, and just kind of like that almost like ether, like space kind of vibe to them in that background, and then the silver numbering. I just really like the look of these guys. And then, like I said, with this guy, with that just, you know, it's a layered resin, that yellow, clear, red, but when you get it in the right light, like, you get some really cool effects of them just going through each other. And then the white numbering stands out really well. And then the D20s, like I said, this guy, man, you catch that in the right light, it just shines. It's got a really cool look to it. Like, Just really interesting. And then this guy, again, the color variation in there, like, I like it. I like it. And the white numbering makes it easy to read, which I always appreciate. So, in the end, excuse me a moment, I ended up with 104 random dice. I got a pretty good mix, I thought, throughout the different die types there, although it was very heavy, you know, 25 D4s, and really light on the D20s, only 8 of those guys. But the rest were a pretty good number scattered throughout. I thought I got a pretty good mixture of different styles. You know, there's like solid colors, translucents, glitters. I'm really happy with the included mystery set here, being an inclusion set. It's just a really interesting pattern, kind of that beachy, you know, with the starfish in there. Like, it's a cool set. So adding that on top of it, I've got 111 new dice. I think that's a pretty good deal for what I picked this up for. Definitely some really cool dice in here that I'm going to try and find the complete sets for. So if you know what they are, let me know in the comments. That would really help me out. Otherwise, I'm going to be scrolling on the internet for a long time. But yeah, is this worth it, a pound of die? I mean, depends on what you're looking for. Like, I got a lot of D4s. I don't need a lot of those. I didn't get a lot of D8s. You know, those are what I'm looking for. But the rest of the dice are very good. Really happy with all the colors. I thought I got a really good variation here. If I find this for another good price, I'm definitely going to pick it up. So, Fanroll's pound of premium resin dice. Check it out. Bye, everybody.